True North Reviews, True North Reviews, True North Reviews.
Hey there, welcome to True North Reviews. My name is Ryan, and today we are discussing the latest Arkells record, Blink Once. This is by the Canadian alt-rock group hailing from Hamilton, Ontario. Ever since their 2018 track Relentless, Arkells have been exploring more 80s pop crossed with modern pop production, basically sampling for the first time in the band's history. Now, ever since expanding on this sound with a full record in Rally Cry, Arkells have moved on to their next era in Blink Once, this time incorporating more experimentation. Nothing out of the ordinary after all, this isn't experimental music by any stretch of the imagination, but the band definitely pull out a few new stops, especially when it comes to album pacing. When it comes to the track list, Max and the group throw in a few interludes to break up some of the more substantial tracks. For some context, I'm pretty sure it's the first time in the Arkells discography that they've written interludes, and they go over with mixed results, much like the rest of the album, which I will begin on Liberation. This is the opening track, and I enjoy its upbeat feel and peppy drum performance. Certainly the chorus is memorable, and I appreciate how the band varies the chorus, with each one sounding slightly different from the previous, one with a full drum kit and one without. Granted, over top there are some lo-fi and distorted vocals that take some getting used to, but overall Liberation is a fine starting point to the album. The record's strength, in my opinion, continues on its second track, You Can Get It, featuring K. Flay. This cut is an example of Arkells exploring different ideas with the horn section they have. It seems ever since 2017-18 or so, the group has become infatuated with a big band sound. Fortunately, I think it suits them well on You Can Get It. Certainly Max has the powerful and charismatic vocals to back it up. And if you can look past some of the track's silly lyrics, this is a pump-up jam for sure. In addition to You Can Get It, there's another highlight on the album when it comes to horn arrangements. The song is entitled Years in the Making, and this one will surely soundtrack many of this generation's graduations and, just about anything that takes sustained effort to happen. Either that or listen to it while lounging around a patio for the summer. Both scenarios are fitting, and Years in the Making is easily one of Arkells' best songs in recent memory. Now, assuming a pop role on Blink Once is the track All Roads. Although its texture and performance are subpar, I find the groove and rhythm mesmerizing, and that's even with it being a glossy and sanitary track. Certainly, if All Roads is lacking in performance, that is made up for with the song One Thing I Know, and it's an unlikely result if I'm being honest. On it, the instrumental is looping what sounds like a Nokia ringtone, something very bold and daring to have on an instrumental, obviously, but complemented with a gigantic chorus that is undoubtedly Genesis inspired. I can't complain, after all. I think this is my most listened to song on the project. Then we dive into some songs on the record that are fine. Truce is a serviceable tune, but the droning synth bass is distracting. Keep in mind it's a subtle detail that will take a close listen to hear, but it's hard to ignore once you spot it. The track No Regrets is much the same, with another serviceable tune, but it's almost like the producers were told to go crazy on this one. Between the loud and soft dynamics just seemingly thrown at the ceiling, there is some whiplash when it comes to the transitions on this song. In other words, notable junctions to where the producers would have had to use compression to cover up the disparity in dynamics. Now, where things go awry on this record is on the cut Swing, 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 which is Arkells' take on a happy, danceable song that is actually sad when you focus on the lyrics. Instead of actually being happy, though, the song goes to extreme lengths to take the happiness and fun out of itself. It is so overproduced and such a garbled mess that it's unlistenable to me. With the obnoxious piano and off-color percussive arrangement, those are two very good reasons to skip, but if you need more, I've got plenty. For example, the vocal pickups are aided by overdubbing, and look, overdubbing is acceptable to do, and it's been done on albums for years, but it's just awkward on Swing, Swing, Swing because it's condensing so much into a quick pace, quick tempo song. Now, if that's not enough to steer clear, the track is honestly just a poor imitation of Fitz and the Tantrums. And it would be fine if the pop elements were actually well written, but they're not. For a track that tries so hard to be happy and carefree while remaining compelling in the lyrics, it just overlooks the latter and sells out for nothing. Technically something if you want to count the Beatles' Let It Be reference, but I just found that tacky more than anything else. Moving on from Swing, 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 arguably the worst song on the project, we get another disappointment in Nobody Gets Me Like You Do. This is a pummeling track that doesn't leave any room to breathe. The refrain is shouted and shoved down the listener's throat with pounding drum toms, not to mention the clunky keys that jump straight to the front of the mix. Everything in this song is thrusted into the chorus without much detail given to a smooth transition. Now, if there's another reason to dislike Blink Once, it's for the vocal performances, which most of the time are powerful and strongly performed, but it's on one song, Arm in Arm, that they are yelled more than they are sung. It might just be Max Kerman and the style of singing that he employs on this track, but it's not very flattering. It shouldn't come as a surprise though, since Arm in Arm is like Arkells' rendition of Strumbella's One Hand Up, but more 80s electropop and done way worse. Putting all criticisms aside though, there is a glimmer of hope to the album's closing track, Last Night I Heard Him Sing. Here, listeners are greeted by sharp, crisp, and biting production. The horns and strings are distinctly heard as well, and at the end of the day, I am simply hoping that this song can be fleshed out on a future project, because yeah, Arkells definitely had a few swings and misses on Blink Once. With factors like forcibly edgy lyrics, unflattering performances, and questionable production, I can't really give this album a recommendation. That, in addition to the more noticeable pop elements and sensibility, I'm finding myself clinging on to the band's past work. That said, Arkells, they're definitely evolving. They're entitled to do so. Just, it's very hit or miss on this album for me. As for now, I'm feeling a 5 out of 10 on this album. I didn't want to lean too far in one direction or the other, but there's the review for today. Make sure you guys sound off down below in the comments. Tell me what you guys think of this music, whether you agree or disagree. I'm here to engage with you guys. If you'd like to leave a like, subscribe if you're new in town. I'd appreciate that as always. Thanks for watching, and have a rockin' day.